Hi everyone, Natasha here and around my home today. I am at the bench at my kitchen window. It is a cold, cold day today. We've dropped down into the teens this morning, and right now it is snowing outside, so just a few little flurries floating around. But I just got back from taking my daughter to school, and we did walk to school. I figured it was good for us to get out and get some cool, fresh air this morning. So I'm back. I'm finally warmed up. And I'm excited to share with you the beginning phases of setting up my 2021 Unbound Planner. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I've already shared an unboxing video, which I will link below. And if you followed along at all, then you know I was using a bullet journal. And for 2020, I gave the Unbound Planner a try. So this is my current Unbound Planner. It's definitely held up well, and I've been happy with it and enjoyed it enough to give it a try again for 2021. There are a few little updates and changes that I mentioned in the unboxing video, and there's one more that I'll share with you while I'm walking through this setup that I didn't even notice until I actually got into the nitty-gritty of setting things up. I'll list all of the supplies I use below, but I always mention that I use the Colors and Numbers book from Louise Hay, and I'll show you in just a minute where I use this, especially when getting started in the planner and initially setting it up. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open it up. It comes with the two bookmarks, so kind of a darker green, which coordinates with that spruce color that I chose, and this lighter pale green. And also, if you saw the unboxing video, then you know I did get the option with the elastic band, and I'm really excited to be able to use that this year and have a planner with an elastic band again, because I enjoyed that about my bullet journal back in the day. So starting out with, you have the initial cover and first page, and I did go ahead and set up the first page already, which it's really hard to read just with the lighting and how light this ink is that I chose to use. So I'm sorry you can't read all of that, but it is the number 4 personal year information, and this comes from that Louise Hay book. So a lot of people choose a word of the year, and I have opted to do it this way, where I let my birth date and the current year determine what my personal year word is going to be. So for me, 2021 is a practical year. This is the affirmation. I turn everything into an opportunity. And there's just details here where it talks about it's time to get back to work, to set routines and keep them, and continuing building what you've already started, that kind of thing. So I have that right at the beginning in order to just inspire me and keep me on track as I go through the year. And the other thing that I did initially in setting up this planner is to add the tabs. It does not come with tabs, nor does it come with a pen loop. So I just got a pen loop. This is a Leuchtturm pen loop that's just sticky back. I ordered that off of Amazon, and I will link the tabs and the pen loop below. The tabs I also get from Amazon, and they're the same ones I used last year. However, last year I just had to use my regular labeler to create some of the tabs that I didn't have existing in the set that I ordered. It does come with some blank ones, and the blank ones have this white section. So I did that, and that all worked fine. But this year I was really wanting to get everything the same color just to be a little more uniform. And I have a Brother P-Touch labeler. It's an old school one that I've had for 25 years or something like that. And I found tape that I thought would work in it that was black tape with gold printing, so I got all excited. And then it arrived, and I realized it's not the right size for my old style labeler. But I discovered that my dad has the correct type of labeler, the Brother labeler that I needed to use with that tape. So I'm really excited that this time around I was able to create all of the custom labels that I needed, and they all match and coordinate with the existing labels, which you can see with the month there. Okay, so moving on. This is the first couple of pages in the planner. It comes with the yearly layouts for 2021 and the next year 2022, and I've already gone through and started adding the school calendar days that I know currently. I haven't looked at, I think they might have the fall schedule listed, but I thought, well, this is a good start just to get the spring of 2021 in there. So I just have our no school days and our modified days listed. And the table of contents or index here, I just added some green to jazz it up a little, make it a little more colorful. And I like that they give you this setting up your planner checklist, and I always go through and kind of update the table of contents to reflect any of the things that I have tweaked to make work for myself. Then we get to the self-reflection section, and I have not completed this yet. Last year I did go through and complete all of it, including doing the vision board, so I still have that in my planner from last year, which is really nice. And I'm looking forward, now that this will be filmed, I'm looking forward to going through and working on it for this year. So this page is supposed to be for goal tracking for the year, but I feel like it suits me better and serves my needs better to use it as a bill tracker, because I'm not sure if you're like me, but there's always times where I think, oh my goodness, did I pay that one bill? I'm pretty sure I did, but I can't quite remember. So it helps me to have this where I can keep it on me at all times. I have a separate one that stays with our budget and with all the bills, and that one gets updated as well. But it just helps me to have something where I can double check myself. And I will go through and list out our monthly bills, and I do usually highlight the ones that are automatic in a different color than the ones that I have to pay manually. And that helps me just to keep track of things. Then we have a section for future goals and dreams and this overview page. And last year I used the overview page for birthdays and anniversaries, and that worked really well. So I'm going to continue to do that this year. Then this year at a glance page could be used for scheduling needs. I like to use it as my cycle tracker. So I have gone in and added the moon phases, just because to me it's interesting to see how things tend to line up and coordinate, but that's what I'll use that for. That's what I did this year in my 2020 planner. I used the same spread as my cycle tracker, and I like having a written version that's already set up. It doesn't take much for me to set this up, and then it's done for the year. Okay, then this is my Fly Lady Zone section. So I have a little flip out that I've added just so that you can see what the zones are in my home. And originally this is a seasonal checklist that they give you, and it says spring, summer, winter, fall, and I went through and relabeled things to make it work better for me. I did the same spread last year, and it really worked nicely to have my home projects list here. So these are just things I'm thinking at some point I want to try to get to, but I don't really have a plan or a schedule for them. But you know how that is, they pop into your mind and you just want to have a place to write it down so you know you won't forget, or you can stop thinking about it. And then the seasonal checklist is just a few little tasks that I need to do around our home and around the exterior of our home seasonally. And like I said, I added that little flip out just as a visual to remind me of the different areas of the home that I'm working on within each zone. And that again goes back to the Fly Lady cleaning system. I'll link her below as well, flylady.net. But if you're looking for any kind of help or guidance in keeping up with your home and getting some systems in place, I highly recommend the Fly Lady. And it's a very adaptable, flexible system, which is what I like. So you can always tweak it to work for whatever you need in the moment. Then they have the 3 different project planning sections. I right now don't have anything I need to lay out in those, but they do come in handy as the year goes on. Then we go into the first month, which is January, and I have set this up minimally with the blue color because for me January is a number 5 month in, again, the Louise Hay colors and number system. So some of the updates for this year, they've changed what goes on this sidebar next to the calendar, and these items were on the next page in the current year in 2020. So I like this update where they've moved all of these scheduling and task related things here on the calendar page. Then when we get to the second part of your monthly planning, There's a whole page that's more about journaling and reflection and self-care and self-improvement. And of course, a blank notes page, which is what I use to set up my personal month information from that Louise Hay book. And again, it just gives me a word to focus on for the month as well as an affirmation, and talks about some of the things that I can use and focus on as I'm going through the month. Then we get to the first week. So the weekly setup has been adjusted a little bit. I went over all that in the previous video where I unboxed it. So I kept most of this the same. I decided instead of doing my self-care in this box, I listed out business, meaning a place for me to put specific business tasks, either that I know I need to repeat each week or things that I'm trying to work on that are more business and project related with my business, just because it's nice to pull them out separate from all of the to-dos that come to mind that I end up listing on these two lists. And then the act of kindness and the self-care, I decided I can just list those one or two things each week as I want. If that doesn't end up working, I can always go back to listing self-care here, but really there's no need for me to have that same list over and over again. And of course, just my zone 1 entry. So that'll be all my cleaning tasks for the zone 1 and errands and my contacts list. And I use this sometimes just for notes if I'm on a phone call or taking customer orders. And sometimes it is just for journaling at the end of the week or midweek. Okay, and this is the second half of the weekly spread. So I have this all set up similar to what I've been doing this year. One of the changes I discovered is they have given us a little more room for the gratitude page. So let me show you in this coming week here. So you can see for 2020, this gratitude box was just a little bit shorter than the second line for your menu plan. And it's not a huge deal, but it sure does look a lot cleaner to have it go straight across. That whole line continues straight across. The only thing I haven't added are my categories here. So I was listing out my schedule, my home, social, my Jordan Essentials business tasks, any personal tasks, and just other for any catch-all tasks that come up or don't fit in a different category. And then my gratitude. So I have not set all that up yet because I'm toying with the idea of either eliminating it or instead of listing out the categories, maybe just going back to a task list. I haven't decided yet what I want to do for 2021. So for now, I'm just going to kind of play around with the current year, the next couple of weeks of December, and see if I figure out what I want to do. And I thought, well, just in case, I'll leave this one kind of minimally set up. I did go in and add my personal numbers for each day. And again, I use a sticker from a Happy Planner sticker set. I list that below too for making those a little bit easier to see. And again, just doing some highlighting and adding a little color to the page. So here you can see what a blank page looks like. So all I've done so far is set up that very first week in January. And this is what it looks like without all my whiteout and color added. So you can see there usually is a set of water tracking droplets, a heart monitor, and a vitamin. So you can use that to track things if you want to. I don't feel like I need to, so I just white over those. And I decided after using it for a while last year that I did not like having the priority box at the top. I felt like it didn't work for me, so I just white over those as well. I'll show you the kind of the difference. So I just white over those and use that box for what I've been using it for is weather and my personal number and my daily home cleaning task or daily focus from the Fly Lady system. And again, I'm sort of evaluating whether I need to really go through and list that each day, or if I know it by heart and it's not necessary, maybe I'll just keep up with weather, maybe I won't. So that's all to be determined. Other than that, I have not set up anything else. I've just added my tabs so you can see, go through each of the months, and we can see here the mid-year review is in the center of the planner. And after that, we have the rest of the months through the end of the year, and there is a year-end review as well. And the very back of the planner has some notes pages. So we have some dot grid pages, which I really like how Theirs are such a faint dot grid, as well as some lined notes pages. And I just have the extra freebies that they included with my order, as well as a Moxie Dory. I think this is actually for making mood mandalas or calendar trackers. I just keep it on hand for the circle stencil that I use for setting up my cycle tracker. And that takes us to the end of the planner. So that is what I have set up so far in my Unbound Planner. And like I said, I'm looking forward to sitting down and going through the self-reflection and the goal setting process with it. So as we get into the holiday season, I'm going to be focused on doing that and just getting everything set up and ready and get my mind in gear for starting a new year, whatever it looks like. So again, I'll list everything below. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments section down below. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care and be well, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.